I think we're entering, hopefully, a time where more people are coming home to themselves as rooted masculine
Yeah.
and as the kind of the wild woman, divine feminine.
Yeah. I put some time and effort into coming up with these two words. I call them rooted masculine and a wild feminine. And here's my take on it: why it's not wild masculine, why it's not rooted feminine. So the way I see it, in Tantra, there's something called Ardhanariyeshwara, which means we are blend of masculine and feminine within. And I wanted to come up with a word that describes what this new era needs in terms of masculine and feminine, even beyond genders, right? We
Yes.
all have the feminine, masculine within us. For me, the rooted masculine is the part of us that's firm, giant like a mountain. It's there. It will outlive us, right? 100 years ago, the mountain existed. 100 years from now, the mountain is still there. That's the rooted masculine. It's calm, composed. It's giving life to plants, animals. So much is happening on the mountain. You feel a sense of safety. At least I feel a sense of safety when I'm on a mountain. I feel I'm connected to earth. Now, the wild feminine. Wild here is not someone who's just breaking the glass of people's doors outside. Wild here is the primal force. It's the rawness. When it thunderstorm, that's the wildness. A bit of earthquake here and there, that's wildness. Wildness is also the effortless play. Wildness is also when you're possessed by love, when you become so loving, that everything you do is channeled from that love. Wildness is the most primal rawness of your existence. And Shakti in Tantra, Shakti means strength in Sanskrit or Hindi, but Shakti is referred to the goddesses in Tantra because Shakti embodies this rawness, this wildness. If you like nature, you're already loving the wild feminine because the wild outside is never the same. It's evolving. I mean, 6 months ago, we witnessed the wild going wilder in LA, but it's coming back again, right? It's you see life again on the mountains. You see plants again blooming. That's wild. That's wild feminine. I've seen that in my mother's journey. I've seen in many women's journey. They've gone through a lot, but they all keep coming back to their strength. That's the gift of the universe to women. I strongly believe that. We all have the Shakti and Shiva within, the wild feminine, the rooted masculine within. However, I'm a bit more biased toward what woman carries within because I feel they embody so much love, care, strength, and we have taken them for granted. We have society for thousands of years suppressed women, silenced women, controlled, tamed them. And that's why I'm not calling it a rooted. I'm calling it wild feminine. They need to be wild for a while before they emerge into their fullness. Because you're constantly taught to be good. Like I see that in my culture, in every culture. Boys have different rules. Girls have to follow different. Boys usually have no rules, but girls do have to follow a certain protocol. It's almost like the moment you're born as a girl, you carry this legacy of the family. Like you have to take the name forward for your family, for your future husband's family. That's a lot of pressure on women. It robs them from their playfulness. They lose sense of who they wanted to be, and they end up becoming the good wife, good daughter, good sister, good mother, good everything. They lose themselves in the process. One of my deepest hope is that the work I do, women start to come back to who they want to be. Who they want to be. That's it. Then their own karma, their own consciousness will guide them. This is what you were meant to be. It doesn't fit into any lens and no templates.
Yeah.
I get pretty emotional and passionate when I talk about
Yeah,
these
I
things.
love
So
it.
I have to pinch myself not to cry on the live
Oh,
podcast.
no, please do cry. I'm crying. I feel seen. I feel for you to, I mean, and that's the rooted masculine to have the be in the mountain
And I
to
feel your
hold that.
energy. So I'm even avoiding looking into your eyes at times because I see the emotion that you are embodying. So, but thank you, because I can only say these if on the other side the person is receiving this. So thank you, Kelly.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, thank you. Ah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's big work.
Yeah, it's big work. It's not meant to be easy. And what's easy is not worth going for, honestly. People who are going for the easy, the comforting stuff, I feel it's stagnant life force for them. They become a lake which attracts just anything.
Puddle.
You're meant to be river. You are being a river right now.
I'm feeling the river.
Yeah.
I'm
You're going into the ocean. That's the goal. Yeah. A river who remembers herself that, oh, I'm meant to be with the ocean, the grand scheme of universe, right? You'll be safe there, but you have to flow.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think that one of the most profound poems ever written was row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. But now I'm like, okay, where's that stream going? Now I know we're going to the ocean.
It's going to ocean.
Yeah. And it's so interesting. I don't know why I even have to say this out loud, but I've been so called to the mountains recently. I just can't get enough. I keep going back every couple weeks. But I am so rooted in the ocean. And I've always known that I needed access to both. And now you're making it clear. Energetically.
They both are needed. I see them. I remember when I first drew the picture of what I want to call the archetype of goddesses and Shiva in Tantra, the male embodiment. I pictured ocean with mountain. I lived in Calabasas for a few years, so I used to go every other day to meditate on the, at Malibu beach. I was there yesterday morning. It gives me just a lot of strength. I grew up in mountains also, so I think that's another reason. Being in mountains just make me very safe, very much at home. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, because you've been doing these practices, you've been in this field, you've been embodied for a great part of your life, maybe all your life. And you said just in the last year or two, you switched from kind of leading with anger, which is just one layer of emotion. And then as you did some deeper work, you accessed this whole other river of emotion that's coming out, and you're so connected to your heart. Was there a new practice you did, or was it just the frequency of the earth that's pushing us faster down the river? What do you think it is that unlocked?
So I deeply feel and believe no new practices are needed. What's needed is your willingness to go deeper in you. What's needed is your willingness to feel what's hurting, feel all the feelings, and give them outlet. From that ache, from that trauma, from that fear, create your art. Art is the big one. That's the writing, music, poetry, anything. Your art gives you the arc to be who you want to be in your next chapter. So for me, I think a lot of things happened in the past few years. I'll tell you a funny thing. It is funny now. It wasn't funny when it happened. In COVID, I was in LA and I was working 6 to 7 days pretty much every day. Intensity of how much people needed this work was so strong. I was suddenly over busy, 7 days working. And I realized the intensity, the suppression in me. And I started to see my own shadows in those years. Not that I never knew them before, but I became, aware that I need to meet them now. But there was so much shame, so much of self-judgment. Someone that people call guru, guide, teacher, he needs help because, again, men or culture I come from, I was told, by the way, by many people, never ever be vulnerable. If you're vulnerable, you lose your title, you lose the work. I was told this multiple times. And I started my work pretty young. So when I was in early 20s, I was told this, remember one thing, never be vulnerable with people. Just put on this shell, And that, at a younger age, you embody this as if it's a truth. But I was feeling my body, that body saying, no, be vulnerable, express. And I was meditating, doing all the Tantra work, but I felt I need to talk to someone who doesn't know me, doesn't know my background. As a human, I
Mm.
crave to be seen as a human. And I thought, why not therapy? That felt very uncomfortable idea to me. Again, in my culture, therapy is not a big conversation point. Religion doesn't go into therapy, right? So, but I did reach out to someone, and I now the funny part begins. I didn't. She said, "Okay, this will be Zoom calls and everything." I said, "I can do Zoom calls. We'll do audio call." She said, "Okay, if that's what's comfortable for you, audio is fine." And I didn't tell her my real name. I gave a random name. I thought,
Mm.
I don't need therapy. It's just I need 1 or 2 sessions to talk out the frustration of this whole COVID times and everything, and I'll be fine. And after first session, I told her I don't need the therapy. She said, "Give it one more session." It's like, sure, just for you, I'll do it. And she still didn't know who I was. After 3, 4 sessions, I started to feel the shifts, the changes. And one day I decided I'm going to tell her. I'm going to come out of closet and tell her this is who I am. And now the interesting moment is that same day before I could begin to talk, she told me that we have made so much progress together, but I still don't know how you look like, who you really are, like, behind these stories. And I was like, perfect timing. Today you will know who I am. And I told her this is who I am, my real name and everything. And I thought I would be judged terribly. She would be upset. I was prepared for everything. There was 0% of judgment, 0% of reaction even. She said, I'm so glad this is the work we are doing, Chandresh. Shedding, unmasking.
Yes.
So let's have only video calls. That moment gave me courage to shed my mask. Because if this person can receive it, then I started to reach out to my friends who always, these are the friends I made in last few years, not the school buddies. They know
Mm.
me as the school guy, right? Like the friend, the person they grew up with. But the friends I've made in past few years, they always saw me as this, oh, he's so wise. I wanted to scream that I'm not all that wise. I'm fragile. I have flaws. I have my challenges. But I realized no one wanted to see that someone who embodies Tantra can have a flaw. So my Instagram bio says, I'm not your guru, I'm your mirror.
Mm.
Because I realized this is so, so important for me to say again and again. There is no perfection out there. Stop chasing the perfection in the gurus and the coaches. See them as humans. That will liberate them and liberate you.
Mm-hmm.
And that will free actually the consumer, the audience, the students. It frees them from choosing the wrong person because now they're not chasing perfection. So I started really telling my stories to my clients, friends that this is who I am, this is my challenge. I was ready to lose these people that if maybe they won't like me after this. No, none of them went away. Actually, we got closer. Obviously, there's more authenticity, uh, and I think it all started from the story you asked about rooted masculine and wild feminine. For me, this is the blend of roots and the wildness. It's messy, it's not the most pleasing, but it's very relevant.